forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based.
Hi, Celia. Hi, Seema. How are you guys?
Hi, Ranjeet. All good here.
Wonderful. So, what do we have as a featured question this week? Let's take up that.
Okay, of course. So the future question for today is how can EB1A aspirants demonstrate sustained national or international acclaim despite having less than 5 years of professional experience?
I think it's a very interesting question because people think that sustained acclaim means 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience. Yet, we have seen, even from the program, we have had people who have been, like, let us say, even 3 years experience or 5 years experience and getting their EB1A green card. I mean, a few months back, we had somebody who is a 28-year-old getting EB1A, somebody who is 30-year-old, or somebody who has been even 26, 27-year-old. Now, sustained acclaimed is, first of all, not about the past, it is about the past, present, and future. And we will illustrate this with an example. Also, remember that sustained acclaimed is not necessarily only a function of time, it is a function of three dimensions. Number one is, of course, the temporal aspect of it, which is time. That how much time, but how much time. Number two is that how much intensity have you put up in that, and what is the possible impact, lasting, long lasting timeline. From a timeline perspective, what is the lasting impact of that? Now let us take an illustration. Now let us say you are a pharmacologist or some clinical pharmacy expert or something like this related to healthcare field, and today we are living in the era of COVID, let's say 2020. And if you are able to create a vaccine, now this has a very powerful impact. This, it won't matter how old are you actually, it won't matter what is your age, it won't matter, but it would definitely matter that how long and how temporal your impact is going to remain. Whether, if whatever you do, if you show me, and how many people it is going to impact. COVID impacted the whole world. The COVID vaccine, it helped the whole world. So you already have everything in place that helps you actually. So fundamentally, you boil down to a concept or an issue wherein whatever you are doing is timeless, is universal. If you are able to show or demonstrate any work which can remain, let's say, for 100 years even after you are no more, it means that definitely it will be fall under the timeline of a sustained impact. We had one lady from a healthcare industry. She was a teacher, and some of the policies which she had recommended for healthcare, I mean, have been accepted by several governments across the world. Thailand, India, Pakistan, Nigeria, so a couple of other places here like this. Now it definitely created an impact actually. Now that's the way I would like to look at it actually. Okay. So I hope that answers the question, that it is not a matter of your work experience. You may have even 20 years of experience, yet you may not fall into EB1A realm. Okay. So let's move to the next question.
Next question for the today, Ranjit, is from a high level perspective, what truly differentiates an EB1 approved profile from the one that get rejected beyond just meeting the three criteria? What have you seen at the next league that has proved these claims?
That gets rejected beyond meeting three criteria. I mean, I think the question here is a little mm, differentiates. And you see, we have not seen, I mean, we don't judge a person by the criteria at next league. We judge the people by the impact that the person has produced. That's the first thing. For that matter, we don't even judge a person based on the years of experience that the person has had actually. We judge the person based on what is the temporal aspect of that particular impact that the person has created. I mean, it doesn't matter that, okay, fine, you get an award just today before it, but why you got the award is more important actually here, logically. And that's the whole idea that we have to see. So at next league, I think your question is asking that what truly differentiates an EB1A approved profile from the one that gets rejected beyond just meeting three criteria. And I think the question doesn't seem to be very clear to me that what you are trying to ask, but I'm assuming that okay, somebody meeting three criteria, somebody getting rejected, and somebody getting selected. What is the difference between the two? I think the only difference is the impact, the total, or fulfilling all dimensions of the impact actually here. So if somebody is meeting it, then it is good. If not, you are just struggling actually here. If you cannot show that your impact will outlive you, it is not any work or any initiative at all for that matter. So I would strongly say that focus on the impact, not on the initiative. So if you get a membership, what you did, what is the benefit? Remember, you get EB1A only for three things. I again repeat each time I say this. Number one is you are an expert. Your expertise is beneficial to the US, and you will continue in the field of endeavor. If you are able to prove this across all the initiatives, then you will get your EB1A. If not, that initiative has no impact. Actually. So whether you go for three criteria, four criteria, five criteria, 10 criteria, it does not make any impact. Okay? So let's move to the next.
Of course. So the next question, I believe, it's gonna have a similar answer to that one, and it says, how should candidates think about extraordinary ability in practical terms across different industries, tech, business, academia, arts? What are USCIS officers looking for the most? Impact, niche, or something else?
I think that person has nailed it actually. I think it is impact. It is not about niche. It's about what is the expertise actually. It is not looking for a niche, looking for a profundity in that niche actually. That would be a proper sentence actually.
Mhm.
Otherwise, what I said in the previous sentence holds actually. No matter what your expertise is, I think you should think about extraordinary ability as a possible function of your impact that you have created, how many lives you have impacted. And for that matter, let's take a hypothetical case. No matter what your field is, if you show us that your work has impacted X number of lives, and X would mean at least in millions, there is no way in which you should be able to be refused EB1A green card. Finally, I can say this with conviction. Okay, fine. Evidence is everything. Everything will fall into place. If your work is of that profundity, that requires this, superlative expertise, and let's not call it a niche. For example, there are certain expertise which will not fall into EB1A at all. Actually, if they're at a skill level. So, second, it has to be at a knowledge spectrum. For example, if you say you're the world's best chess player, let us say, just because of being a chess player, you can solve a Rubik, or you can solve a Rubik's cube in say 30 seconds. You are a world's best data entry operator, say 300 words per minute. It is not going to help you for everyone. Chess might be if you say that you are going to, because there are international championships, so I would just exclude chess there. Something which is related to your personal skills, that is not, or some asset skills is your asset, that won't help you. So, answer is right, and I think we need to look at it from a very practical standpoint here, actually. Okay, so let's move to the next.
Next question is, what are the most common gaps you see across the early stage EB1A profiles, and how should they be prioritized?
Okay, so there are three dimensions of success for your EB1A. I always say this to people. Number one is your expertise, your degree of your expertise. You have to be an expert, and that's a major gap. People think that fitting into criteria will help people actually. So that is something where you have to go back to books and study from the technocracy perspective. Learn the know-how of your own subject matter expertise. So if people don't want to do that, actually, people feel, oh, I will do this. Okay, people say I will write research articles. So how many research articles have you read? Without reading a single article, people want to write articles and should be get published in Nature. It is not going to be possible. Let's be very clear about it. To publish in a Nature, you have to read at least 100 articles actually there. Okay? Now, if you are able to do that, then it makes sense. So I think the first thing is your knowledge. Second is understanding about EB1A. I mean, why criteria, how to present, what is an evidence standard, all these things you should know. And the last but not the least is that learning how to present yourself. If you know these things, these are the kind of common, there are a lot of myths and a lot of learning, unlearning that happens in this case actually. Okay, so let's move to the next now.
of course, the next question is, what does a realistic timeline look like for to go from a moderate profile to a strong EB1A case? I have been working on my profile with no guidance for the past 3 years, but have 12 years of experience. Should I be close to filing, or I am falling behind?
You see, this is a wrong question actually.
Yeah.
The question should be asked is, uh, how much does it take for me to become in top of my field? If you, the day you tell me that you are at the top of your field of expertise and one of the top persons in your field, then I think 3 to 4 months is good enough. Because the rest everything can be taught, can be trained, but we can't teach you your expertise. So that expertise is your responsibility. And for, I mean, I said 3 to 4 months, and that's why the program is of 6 months, giving you some time to uh, brush up or something like this. Okay. So that is the thing, something that I will say. Okay. Let's move to the next and last question, possibly.
The next and the last question is, how do you strategically decide which criteria to target versus which to ignore? Is there criteria that stick out on certain profiles than others? You immediately gravitate towards the next league from the past experience.
Wonderful. Now, what happens is here, it's a very nice question. I would say that it all depends on your quality of evidence that you produce. So, let us say, for example, what we like to do is that you list down a certain initiative. Now, that initiative, let us say, is it's okay. So, let's say that initiative is. We, in fact, let me give you an actual example. We had one person who created an app. Now, he said that app was for single mothers for financial planning. And that was sold by one of the leading banks to somebody when he was working in that bank at 100 million valuation with 2 million customers. Now, this is just an information that we got of his initiative. I said, now, do you have some white paper on that? The answer was yes. Number two, that do you have the entire project plan, everything, A to Z, email exchanges that companies can give you? Answer to that is yes. The letter that company gave currently existing was a different offset, a sort of a fintech company which was running that app. I said, that company, can it give you a letter? The answer to that was yes. Now the question is that, was it your original concept and that does not exist anywhere? Now can someone, some academician vouch for that? Answer to that was yes. Now the next question was that, okay, how many people it impacted, the customer details, how the trail happened, what did you do, the original communications, the white paper that you would have made, the kind of a flow chart that you would have made, everything that lead to creation of the app, do you have that? The answer to that was yes. Then the last question was, okay, can you demonstrate that how, what impact that is created in the lives of people? Can you get some customer reviews based on that? Answer to that was yes. Now, having all these things, a single initiative could go into original contribution. Now, let us say if anything would not have been there, only white paper would have been there with some ramification or from an academician, maybe it was could have been a scholarly article. Or maybe we would have asked him to publish something that could have been potentially be used actually. In fact, we did ask him to do that also. So this was based on a historical data. The complete case study of building up that app was there. So that could go also as an original. That, but if he had not produced that other evidences, it would have been stuck to only scholarly articles. It all depends. Or if he had not been produced anything, then it would have remained within the realm of critical role only actually. Just one letter that he did this, it was 100 million valuation. Just that letter would not help for original contribution. Please understand that. Then you would need a larger, higher degree of evidences. So that's a kind of a very self-evident things that I'm trying to tell you. So that's all we have for today, guys. Wish you all the best. And if you want to join the next league program, please reach out to Seema in Syria. If you have some more questions or want to kind of join here as well, we are happy to help you. So wish you all the best and have a wonderful Saturday. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any further questions or need personalized guidance, please reach out to us. We are here to help you every step of the way in your journey towards achieving your American dream. Let's connect and make it happen together.